Hello, I'm Mel, and welcome to the very first episode of SoulFull Conversations. The purpose of this was to share real stories with real clients and their Reiki journey. So, for today's first episode, I have my lovely now friend, Shelly. And Shelly, just tell us a little bit more about your Reiki journey, how you found out about Reiki, and what has brought you here to us in this beautiful Sedona place now.
Sure. So Reiki was my first experience with any healing modality. So one of the first ones I actually got to feel when I got involved past cards and a palm reading. I happened to have lunch with a friend who mentioned the word Reiki, and I didn't know what it was.
Typical.
And so I said, "What is that? What do you do?" And so I had a session with that friend, and then just felt I need to learn how to do that, and started talking to people. And I actually talked with 3 teachers before I met you in someone else's class.
I think that's always the best part about how we met is, so during the pandemic is when we met, and we were offering online intuitive classes via Zoom, and you and I just happened to be in one of those classes together.
Yeah, and you introduced yourself, and you used the word Reiki, and I knew what the word meant. And I was like, oh, Reiki.
This is it.
She teaches Reiki. And so that's how you and I started talking. And then
Right.
I think within a matter of a couple weeks, I signed up.
Yes, you did. So lucky you. You were actually one of the first students I ever taught Reiki to. And is there anything that maybe you recall about that first time of you being really immersed in an entire Reiki training? Is there anything that you can recall that really just kind of stands out to you?
It was a lot.
It is a lot.
You know, for me at the time, I hadn't really been feeling energy yet. And so to be in a room with, I think we had over 10 people who were all sharing their experience of what they're feeling. And it was one of those first times where you don't quite understand that you all don't feel the same thing.
Right.
All the time.
I'm glad you brought that up, because
Yeah.
it's very important when people are learning Reiki to really understand that the Biosin is what it's called, that we're working with the energy. Sometimes people don't feel it right away. Sometimes people feel the vibrations. Sometimes they feel tingling. It's different for everyone. So very good point.
Yeah, and so as I'm listening to all the voices, I was like, I'm not sure if I'm doing it right yet. I'm just I'm not feeling it yet. But certainly as I practiced and experienced the energy of more people, which is the great part of actually doing it on someone beyond yourself.
Right.
Feeling different energy and understanding that everybody feels different in different places, and experiencing a new feeling for me was really what was. It was high. It made me high.
It's a Reiki high.
It's a Reiki high.
Yes, it's a good
Yeah.
energy high. And I definitely want to point out as well, because my relationship with you was very interesting, because we briefly, were in that class together.
Right.
Then you signed up for Reiki training. And I always think it's so funny, because I remember you coming up to me. It was either the first or second break we had, and you walked up and you were like, "Oh, I didn't know this was your first time teaching." And I automatically was like, "Oh gosh, is she not loving it? Like, what's wrong?" So it was really
Yeah.
funny.
Whereas I was thinking, oh, what a blessing to be in the first class. This is amazing.
We play tricks on ourselves with our minds, don't we?
And I think for me, even better, a lot of the people that I met in your class, both the first, the second, and then the master class, so many people have become my friends. So
Ooh, I
not
just
only
got chills.
did I learn Reiki, right, but the relationships that you have with those people.
Right.
People cross your path for a reason, for sure.
They absolutely do. And you talking about that also reminds me of something that came up in one of my last trainings for Reiki 1 and 2. Is one of the women asked, is it always this type of energy in every single group? And my answer was yes. And the reason is because every single time the right people come together at the right time when they are ready. And the magic, it's just, there's no words to really describe the experience.
Right. I think that, that's a great way to put it, because who's supposed to be there is.
Exactly. So I want to talk a little bit too about your Reiki experiences, right? And because we've had some sessions together. And so what is maybe something that you recall during a session that really just kind of stands out to you of something that you would like to share with everybody watching?
Sure. So I definitely was going through some things in life, and my anxiety was high. That's
Yeah.
a great way to encapsulate it. Just really stressed, my mind really running a lot,
Yeah.
and it just had me going way too much. And I, called you and said I need to come in.
Please.
And within a couple of seconds of touching me, you're like, "Whoa, we got to do something about that."
And was that your first session?
No, I think it was. I think it was my second or third.
Okay.
And honestly, it didn't even know if it would work for that. But I was so desperate that
You're like,
try
throw
it,
me everything in the
try
kitchen
it,
sink.
try it. I had held on to grounding crystals, tried grounding myself, tried breathing on my own, and just couldn't bring it down.
Right.
And within, I don't know, 5 minutes of you working on me, I came down, and I swear for the next 6, 8 months.
Really? That
Yeah,
long?
it never got that
Wow,
high
I did
again.
not know that.
Yeah, it never got that high again.
That's amazing.
And I don't, really can't explain it. It just either gave me the tools to be able to keep it down on my own, but it just settled me right down.
I love it.
I was able to, bring down my breathing, bring down my thoughts.
Yes.
And so for me, it was probably one of the biggest, I'll say, changes in energy during a session. I think I even started to cry, if I remember correctly. Like, oh, just thank you.
I remember that now. I do
Yeah.
recall that. And, I appreciate you sharing that. And for those of you that may be watching this that are not as familiar of what Reiki can do, I'm just simply a conduit for the Reiki. So it flows through me, through my hands to the client of whom I'm working with. And Reiki is so, so beneficial for stress and anxiety relief. And I'll tell you, that is majority of the reason of why people kind of happen upon Reiki
Okay.
is, a lot of business people I work with professional athletes as well. And that is why a lot of them come, is because in order to perform at a certain level, we need to have that clarity, right? We can't be foggy with all of this stress and anxiety, because that doesn't allow us to perform at our highest capacity.
Well, it definitely calmed my thoughts and allowed me to have some clarity.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really glad to hear too that it was that long after the session.
Yeah, it really was.
Now, were you giving yourself Reiki as
so,
well at home?
So I
Okay.
do also obviously do Reiki on myself as well. And I have had, other people as we exchange Reiki and test out each other.
Yep.
But there's something about that was exactly what I needed.
Yep. You just knew. Your soul, your higher self knew.
Yeah.
I love it. And I want to say too, Shelly, I am so incredibly proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome, because I've known you now for a little over a year and a half. This is our first trip together. We're here in Sedona, as you heard. We're doing great.
Yeah.
You're a great travel partner, and we've become really wonderful friends.
Yeah.
And it's been so amazing to watch you blossom over the years, or year and a half, that I've known you. And I'm incredibly proud that you've also taken the leap to start your own business. So I definitely want to share with them a little bit about what you plan to do, maybe some things you're already doing, and maybe you don't know all of it yet, and that's okay too. That's the beautiful part of this lovely journey. So is there anything that you want to share about your business?
Sure. So I call it Finding Your Light.
Finding your light.
Finding Your Light.
Love that.
Because I feel like I'm finding mine.
Yay.
And then it's also sort of a two-way, because I also started making intention candles with crystals.
I did get one of those, by the way. Beautiful.
But I think it's all the people that I've met, all the classes that I've been, all the trainings that I've participated in over the last couple years have really helped me to find myself. to decide what I want, my purpose, my path, your journey, whatever you want to call it. And so I think that if I can, by saying something, having a conversation,
Yes.
trigger thoughts in someone else, they find their light too.
I can feel your like love from just your heart when you talk about it too, and the emotions that it's brought for you in your own journey, and how you're going to share it with everybody. We're both already crying over here. Clearly not
Sorry.
planned. But that's what this is about, and I think so many people get wrapped up in what they should do and shouldn't do, and you've done a beautiful job, and we've had so many amazing conversations in this trip together thus far. We still have more time coming up, but how we all have our individual gifts.
Yes.
We all have our individual journeys, and not to put ourselves in these boxes because we're not supposed to be there. We're all different for a reason,
Very.
and that's what makes this such a beautiful journey and a beautiful human life to live this lifetime.
Yeah.
Yay!
I feel the same way.
I
So-
know, that's so amazing. So is there anything else? Do you have your website or anything up yet that we're able to find you?
So I only have a Facebook page.
Okay.
Because I'm just starting to figure out
Okay.
kind of what I want to do and how I want to do it. So I do have a Facebook page that
Okay.
is Finding Your Light.
Okay. And I'll make sure to link your Facebook
Okay.
page in the description below for those of you that are interested.
And at this time, I kind of, leave it up to the universe and my guides. And I know they'll bring me who I need to be working with. And for the time being, I think my path is a little longer than, what I want it to be, but it's the right one.
Oh, yes. What an awesome, awesome journey. Shelly, again, can I give you a hug?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much for just taking
Thank
this
you.
time. I know we've got to get to our dinner reservation tonight, but I'm so glad we had the opportunity just to chat and really share it with the world. Well, if you have really enjoyed this first episode of this soulful conversation, good, because guess what? There's more coming your way. Leave in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and I can't wait to share more with you of real clients, real stories, real people so soon. Take care.